a bit of video coming into our news center. I want you to go over to YouTube. There was this is clearly a motor vehicle accident. And the driver of the vehicle behind, the grey vehicle, jumped over, pulled a gun, boxed the driver of the vehicle in front. Yes, see there? He boxed the man. This happened on Constant Spring Road in the vicinity of Oakland's apartment. Yeah? These things happen in a motor vehicle incident. Look at him. Jump over. He ran into the man's back. Yeah? I don't know if the man had to stop suddenly. What are the specific? And look at that. He boxed the man, a healthy box, pulled his gun, and it happened right in front of a squaddy, a member of the JCF. Huh? Now, if the man had to stop suddenly or something, there's a process. There's a process. The policeman is there. Constant Spring Police is just up the road. The police station, go report it. But look at him, gun drawn. Well, I hope the Firearms Licensing Authority removes that gun, withdraws the license, because he's not supposed to have a firearm license. It could have been deadly. Look at him, in a rage. Yeah? And physically assaults the man, and is menacing. He physically boxes the man, and then, you know, this is madness. This is the kind of thing we do in Jamaica. Huh? He's clearly the aggressor. So the gun is not being used, the firearm is not being used in a defensive way. He's the aggressor. Oh no. He boxes the man and then points the gun at the man. Right in front of Oakland's. Broad daylight. Huh? I wonder what the policeman did. But I would imagine that this is now going to be the subject of further investigation and action. He should be charged. Illegal possession of firearm. 1, 2, physical assaulting the man. Huh? Just look at this, viewers and listeners. Just look at it. You don't do this. You're in a fender bender. You're in a motor vehicle incident. Yeah? You don't do this. Last week, Thursday evening, I was in the traffic on the same Constant Spring Road, about 6:45 in front of Immaculate going north. Bumper to bumper traffic. And next thing I hear in my back, boom! And my vehicle pushed forward, boom! Into the vehicle in front of me. You know what was that? A Freightliner tipper truck. I don't know what the driver was doing, but clearly he misjudged the distance between us and give me a lick in my back. Yeah? All of my trunk mash up. Can't have the use of my vehicle, the back of it. Can't open, can't lock. Yes? I have to report it. We never run out and pull gun and whatever. We just simply acknowledged that we were in an accident, and we said, let us meet at Constant Spring Police Station. Yeah? Take 2 hours out of my evening, and we get it done. Let the process work. Look at this now. You don't do this, man. I hope the police find him and lock him up, and the Firearms Licensing Authority take away his firearm license. No, this is not the way to do it, viewers. This is simply not the way to do it. Marcus, good morning. I'm all right.
Great. Morning to you and your listeners, and by extension, your viewers.
Yes, sir.
Great. A couple of concerns I have about a few issues. I'll start out by saying that I heard those two callers, there could be more than two, who had concern about with the roads. And I would want to say that in the age of technology, that we as consumers, as what could be described as the general public, need to educate ourselves more on the processes of government and how things work. It is in our interest, it is in our family interest, and it is in our community interest. And here's the reason why I say that. Now, even though they spoke about the road in and of itself and the condition, I've never heard anyone of them who said that, well, I went to the MP, I went to the source to get some information as to why it was like this, what is the process, why it was delayed, what was necessary, what was the system that was drawn out, can we contribute, is it something that I can contribute to as a community to make the process work, or even though we are the one using the road. So you come with a criticism, and you don't necessarily criticize them out of ignorance. Mm-hmm. And those persons who have made that vote, say they vote against him, did not know they voted out of ignorance and not knowing as to why the road is the way it is. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not saying one way or the other that it was negligence or not. I'm just saying that to date, no one has ever mentioned as to why it is the way it is up to this point. Because for the life of me, I wouldn't imagine that a sitting MP having all the tools and the necessary thing at his disposal to complete a road would just neglect it and having, the best interest of that community at heart. So I would want to think that it is something that the system would have created that he has no control over at this point, because like you said, there was piping going on and fixing a road nowadays with the type of comprehensive work is far more technical than how the average person might want to look at it. I mean, throwing two stone in a patrol and rolling it, those days are over. And based on what the Prime Minister has said and the government as an administration as they're saying, is that they're dealing about best practices and quality for money. Mm-hmm. And that takes time. Mm-hmm. All right? So I just want to put that out there.
Okay, sir.
The other thing is we seem to be developing a thing in our mindset, in our culture that is becoming entrenched and a dominant culture, and that is mediocrity. We seem to accept certain things once it comes from certain sources, that it is popular and it is acceptable and it is fashionable, it is stylish. And so therefore we don't operate from a value what it is that is we value as a family, what it is that we value as a community. So in other words, any Mr. Man with popularity or in fame can influence our choices, and then we use those choices to destroy the very fabric of what we claim that we want to work against. And I'll point out a particular instance. Mm-hmm. For example, look at what we glorify when certain people commit a murder, right? A popular person commit a murder, and we say, free that man, free that man. Mm-hmm. But yet still, probably a less person who is not so popular and less not, well known, commits a murder. Mm-hmm. Nobody says anything, lock him up, he deserves to dead. So therefore, we cannot, as a society, flip-flop on our values and then expect anything other than what we do. We are what we create. Mm-hmm. Right? So a lot of us, therefore, expecting this thing from our politicians and from persons who are in power when we ourselves are not prepared and we don't set ourselves up to accommodate that. And one of the things that you must never do in life, never ask for something that you're not prepared for. Mm-hmm. In other words, if you are going to ask for quality service from the government, if you're going to ask for efficient service from make sure that you are the epitome of what you ask for. Because if you get that, then you may be confused, because it may be something that you even ask for, you're not familiar with how the processes work to make it efficient, to make it more competent, to make it more sustainable. Mm-hmm. Because you're ignorant of all the processes that brings that into reality, you get it and you lose it, and you get it and you don't know what, and you get it and you still complain, simply because you don't educate yourself on the process.
Thank you, sir. Time for the...